In a world where laughter wasn't king and sausage was running amok, one man spent his weekend dreaming up nothing more than ways to edit video faster. CRFTSHO presents Tales of Editing. Okay, you get the point. Welcome to Inside CRFTSHO. Today we're still in the post-production side of the world. Kind of wanted to talk about a few things. We had some comments coming back and forth about GH5 footage and drone footage and the best practices, which is a fancy way of saying the easiest way and most efficient way of getting footage in. We kind of wanted to talk over what we do in order to get footage into our computers so that we can start editing. Because again, the key to all this is not about anything more than let's start cutting. Forget everything else. Let's just cut. For gosh sakes, I just want to edit, because that's also where the money is. Probably don't get paid for ingestion, don't get paid for transcodes, but you can get paid for using your editorial skills. So we're going to go into it. Pretty much our entire workflow is based off of the transcode. Some people call it a round trip method, but we really go with the transcode method because half the time if we're using GH5 footage or drone footage, we really just want to bring it in and get editing with it. And frankly, once we transcode it, we're not going to go back to the negative. We're not going to go back to the original footage itself. Hear that? That's the sound of our new office. So going right into it, if you kind of look here, what we have is in this episode 10 folder I made, we have batch transcodes followed by raw footage, right? So how do we do that? We're going to go from the raw footage. We're basically going to launch Media Encoder. So we're going to take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 files. We're going to take these 7 files, right? And we are just going to drop them into Media Encoder, like so. It'll import them in. You can see it's bringing them over down the list. Currently showing us H.264s because that's what we defaulted to. And there's a lot of other tricks. You can use a watch folder and all this other stuff, but that's so much labor on the front end. There's no reason to do all this extra stuff when you can just do it once and do it right and make your life a lot easier, again, so you can go edit. So what we do is then we got our 5-7 clips in. We're going to highlight the ones we want to cut, right? We're going to click on this first. This is our presets. Yeah, we're about to change all of them because we want them all to be the same. So we're going to go in and we actually have a preset built. We're going to change them to QuickTimes first off because we want to work in ProRes. We have this CRFTSHO transcode round trip. And let's take a look at what those settings are. So this is 422HQ. It is matching the source, which in this case is 4K. We'll click the match source just to be safe, but it should do it automatically. It renders at maximum depth. Yeah, we don't really worry about that yet in this. We're going to use maximum render quality down here, right? Now, this is normally set up if we're shooting all the same frame rate, but in this case, this footage is all over the place. We got 2997 footage, 47.95862 because it doesn't do pure 48. We've got all these variations on it. So what we want to make sure that we do is click the frame rate. We want to force conform this stuff to 23976. That's the process we're after. You can see it's giving us ProRes 422. We're choosing 422 and not 444 because 444 in this case is not adding anything to the project. It's actually just taking up precious, glorious file space that we need because we're tired of archiving files every 6 weeks. So it's even less than that. What are you doing right now?
Archiving footage.
See? Archiving footage all the time. So what we're going to do is we'll hit OK. Now they're all the same QuickTime variable. You can see that's in the preset. Everything's set up exactly the same. While they're still highlighted, we're now going to click on the destination, and where we want to put them, conveniently already there, is in this case, we have the raw footage, and next to it we have batch transcodes. So we're going to just drop those into this batch transcodes folder. You can see they're all changed here. We're going to hit the button, and voila. What should you do while it's transcoding, you ask? Well, there's plenty of things. 1, LaCroix. Have a delicious drink of LaCroix. Talk to Jeff. Crack a pistachio. In surround sound. There's plenty of things that you can be doing while this is transcoding, but more importantly, you should have transcoded this stuff yesterday. You should always transcode it when you know you're not going to be doing anything. Kick it off overnight, walk away. Just go do something while this stuff is transcoding. See? That's what I got to do. I got myself a nice frosty beverage. All right, well, we've got them all done here. We can see Media Encoder has finished up what it was meant to do, shutting it down. Inside of Premiere Pro, we basically need to bring in our footage. So we have the raw files that we brought in, and then we're going to bring in our transcode. So to do that, we're just going to go to our batch transcodes. We'll highlight these guys, import them in. And as you know, the GH5 footage won't play at all. You can't even see it. It plays the first frame. The drone footage is also problematic, but in this case, it's playing just fine, aside from my terrible piloting skills. So there's our footage. There we go. We have everything in. So now all we need to do is make our little cut. So we've got our piece of music here. We'll go up, File, New, and we'll do our sequence. Same thing that we talked about yesterday, CRFTSHO 4K UHD. Again, we want to delineate between 4K 4096 and 4K, what is it, 3840, right? So those two numbers are very important to the frame size, and it tells Jeff or anybody dealing with your projects, other editors, anyone, exactly what you're working in. So we use 4K UHD to make that very clear. Great. So I'm going to drop in some music, and I'm going to get editing real quick. All right, so there we have our little clip. So we can throw that together and send this over to Jeff. So without further ado,
all right, hey everybody, Drew has finished his side of it, so now I'm going to do the conform. All right, don't worry about that. All right, so this is the main media page of DaVinci, which I like to go ahead and start setting up a couple of folders real fast for this. We will do DJI footage folder, and then I always like to, especially on bigger things, do a timeline folder. That is where my timelines are going to be. So we'll go into edit, and then we'll import in Drew's XML, which sometimes can be hard to find because of our structure we have going on right now with this cleanup and archiving we're doing. There we go. Let's see. I'm going to pull this one over. And then has import timeline. There's only one timeline on here. Timeline name, you know, the automatic set projects. For this, we're going to keep it exactly the way it is. We don't have another version. We are regrouping to it. So we're going to press OK. 2 clips of 2 were not found, which is the audio tracks, which doesn't really matter for us, so we don't need to worry about that. And here's our timeline. We'll go through it really fast to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. So far, it looks like it's right. And this is kind of interesting because we have a bunch of different timed pieces, which sometimes, if you're working with different kinds of multiple types of footage, usually will not work exactly right. All this looks like it's good though, so we'll close it down, and this is how you get this conform started. It's pretty easy. Once you get that though, for me, go in here, put the footage in the footage folder. This goes into the timeline folder, and then it's ready to grade. I can go ahead and throw a little quick grade on here on all of them.
all right, so we were able to get everything loaded back in. Jeff got his little grade done. We'll take a quick look at it here. So to do that, let's see, we're going to jump into Premiere, into this transcode demo, and let's see how it looks. So we're just going to drop it in. So as you can see, we just bring in Jeff's demo. He put that 2cc on the back end there with his initials. That just lets me know it's done. So here's a little run of the finished video. We'll let it carry us out. See you tomorrow.